guys ever gotten a static shock before? Have you?
Yes.
Yes. Or maybe you accidentally shocked somebody. Perhaps you were dragging your feet on some fuzzy carpet and then you touched someone and then kablam! You shocked them.
I used to do that as a kid.
Really?
Yeah.
Like on purpose?
Yeah, in our living room.
Oh my gosh. Well, all I know, Jen, is it doesn't feel good, either for you or the other person to get shocked. And so why does that happen? Why do we shock each other like that? Well, it's simple. You're carrying a charge. Your body was loaded up with energy that needed to go somewhere. The same can be true of our emotions. We can be emotionally charged up with all kinds of energy, and that energy is just hanging out, and then kablam, like you shocked the other person. And the other person is like, wow, what just happened there? Like, ouch, that hurt.
And have you ever experienced that with your partner?
Yeah.
Or maybe with a friend?
Yep.
You make a tiny comment and it just seems to set them off. Something was charged emotionally.
Yeah, there's this old saying, Jen, in the counseling world, if it's hysterical, it's historical. And when you overreact in the present, you're most likely responding to feelings from the past.
Yes.
That emotional charge could be coming from childhood pain or trauma from another relationship or family of origin stuff. Either way, it's probably coming from their history and not the present.
That's so true, and that's why extraordinary couples realize that if you want to move forward, sometimes you need to look back.
Yeah, that's really true. I read a story about a middle-aged guy who'd always had sinus trouble. He was super congested and kind of always stuffy. And he tried every allergy pill, every nose spray, and nothing helped. He was always clogged up. Then one day, he started sneezing furiously, like, achoo, achoo, like he just goes crazy. And it was the worst sneezing fit he'd ever had. Then something totally weird happened.
What?
A rubber dart, like this one, you know, from those old dart guns?
Yeah.
We used to play with those, came out of his nose. This was in his nose.
I don't believe that.
It's true. You can read it on the internet, okay? So he called up his mom, and his mom goes, I knew it. I knew it. When you were 3, you're playing with a dart gun, and I was convinced that you stuck one of these things up your nose. But they took him to the doctors, and the doctors couldn't find anything, so they just sent them home. So this poor guy had this dart for 44 years in his nose, and he's just adjusting to this problem from his past. Like congestion became his new normal. And stuffiness was his everyday. And, you know, we do that too. Instead of getting the dart out of our nose, we just figure out a way to kind of live with it.
And chances are you have something stuck in your heart from your childhood.
Yeah.
And you know what? Those things can make it hard to breathe.
Yeah, they can clog your heart like the dart clogged that guy's nose. Or things from our childhood can make you overreact. Hear things that aren't really said because you're feeling things from a long time ago. So when you get furious or mad or the person next to you gets furious, here's what we want you to do. Don't judge, don't shame, ask where these emotional charges might be coming from. Chances are it has less to do with the current stress and more to do with the past hurt.
True.
And so here's the helpful relational principle we want to teach you right now. When you get furious, get curious.
Yeah, so let me give you a personal example. I get really upset when Mike or the kids talk over me. It pushes a button, a historical button.
Yeah, that's true, and that is a button.
So I was a 4th child, the baby of the family, and I always felt like I was never heard. My voice was ignored. So when Mike or the kids talk over me, it really upsets me because it's all tied into my family stuff.
Yeah, and let me give you an example from my story. So there's sexual abuse in my story, and that just brings a lot of baggage with it, honestly, and stuff that even today I have to process. For example, if I don't feel safe or secure, I don't react well. And you know what I do? I shut down. I go inward as a way to protect myself. I go back to that place and habits from decades ago that make me feel safe. So how do we do and how do we help each other with all this historical stuff? Well, first, put a name on the button. get curious about what button was pushed.
Yeah.
Give a word to that feeling that made you furious or caused you to completely shut down. Are you feeling abandoned? Are you feeling accused or overlooked? Does it feel belittling, rejected? Do you feel useless or stupid? When you label an emotion, you disable its influence.
Secondly, locate the button. Find where that snot-covered dart is. It may take some time to find it, but I bet it's there.
Yeah. And usually these emotions, these memories, the darts, you can probably still feel it, but they can be difficult to locate. And if you need help locating the button, grace-based conversations with each other is really helpful. And counseling or group therapy it's always a good place to start. As Richard Rohr says, he says that pain that is not transformed is transferred. And here's the deal. You don't have to transfer your pain anymore. You don't have to transfer your emotional charge into someone else. Here's what we believe. Our past doesn't have to define us.
No.
We can have a full and wonderful relationship with people right now. And with love and compassion and curiosity, you can finally get that dart out of your nose.